After the last video, I had a couple questions from people asking if I can go into even more detail on develop a peak on those biceps. So I thought it'd be fun to do a series. We go long head, short head, maybe even brachialis. Randomly, I did get a question from somebody asking if I can help them jump higher and dunk a basketball. I don't know what the f you think this is, but I'm not helping you dunk a basketball. I think somebody saw one of my past jokes on going hard in the paint and took it a little too seriously. I worry about you people. Let's get after it. So when you're walking in the gym and you're so focused to develop a ridiculous peak on those biceps, a couple of things I want you to think about in terms of exercise selection, other than the typical worries you're going to have when you walk in the gym, like, did I spill some of my protein shake all over my shirt and it looks like I violently shit all over myself? Specifically, is doing any exercise to take advantage of one, or even better, a combination of these things. First, any curl where your hands are closer together. I just like to think of it as closing off that short head, not allowing it to jump in and take over the movement, and focusing on that long head. Next, any exercise where you're over-supinating that wrist at the top of the movement, and then finally, based upon how it originates, putting that bicep in a stretch position. Now that in itself, not the most interesting, but what it is the incredible exercise we can develop knowing those things. Let's start out with three of my favorite cable variations. First with the V-bar. Now the nice part about this is it checks two boxes. First being you have to turn those hands in, so again, it limits how much that short head can work, but also you're trying to keep that palm on the bar the entire time, so you have to over-exaggerate and supinate that wrist when you come up to the very top, and it creates this horribly painful, sadistic pump in the peak of those biceps. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about drag curls. Basically, my only friend growing up, so we can pair that with a rope, not only get the stretch on the bicep, but also the exaggeration of that supination at the top as well. And the last one doesn't look like it, but it checks the box on all three because you're able to flare the elbow to the side, again, limiting that short head. Obviously, your biceps are already in stretch position there, and then as you come up, you'll supinate it ever so slightly, and it sucks in a good way. Now dumbbells are also an incredible way to really attack the peak of that bicep, the long head, especially when you're talking about the supination of that wrist, even if you're a lazy f***. Take drag curls for instance. Obviously that long head is going to be inherently lit up because your elbow's back, you're in a stretch position, but you can passively over-exaggerate the supination of that wrist by pulling your hand even closer in. So as you curl up, it just drops that dumbbell down, gets more of a contraction, more of a supination, lights it up even more. So this next one's a little funny looking, but let's be honest, your mom was always too nice. She never had the heart to tell you, but you're funny looking, so this one's for you. So what you're gonna do is shove those dumbbells together. As you come up, really supinate those wrists and roll them out. And again, it's just taking advantage of the supination of those wrists, but just like the one where you have one dumbbell and you're curling it straight up. Problem with that though is most people's wrists can't take that. It's too close together. So that little bit of separation and being able to push against that dumbbell, actually roll against it, will help you even more. It's a little bit easier on the wrist and it's gonna hurt like hell. Now, if you didn't connect with any of those, then you're so broken it's phenomenal. But if that's the case, just stick to what you know you already connect with and crank up the intensity in another way. For instance, I'm gonna do a drag curl with a 3-second hold at the top, and then I'm gonna go right into a close grip curl where I'm just repping it out. I'm gonna go back and forth. And again, if you don't connect with that, then you can always take up pickleball. As always, like, subscribe, make sure you hit that damn notification bell. Leave a comment for the video you want next. Get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.